Are you getting enough omega-3 fats in your diet? In today's episode, I'll explain what omega-3 fats are, the different types of omega-3s, and the unique benefits that each type provides. Plus, I'm going to share the top 5 foods that are rich in omega-3s to help you easily incorporate these essential fatty acids into your daily routine. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to improve your health by making sure that you're getting sufficient levels of omega-3s in your diet. Before we dive in, if you're listening on the Apple Podcast app or on Spotify, make sure you hit that follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. Guys, I'm really excited to dive into the importance of omega-3s. Omega-3s is kind of like one of those categories of food that can have one of the most profound and impactful benefits, not only on our short-term health, but especially on our long-term health. I think things like fiber, protein, really important, omega-3s, really important, antioxidants, really important, probiotics, those are almost the 5 categories of foods that I would recommend that we get in, if not a daily basis, a multiple times per week basis. And today I want to talk about omega-3s. I want to talk about what they are. I want to talk about the different kinds of omega-3s and sometimes the common misconception and the common error that people have with omega-3s. And then I want to give you the top 5 foods that you can regularly add into your diet so you can ensure that you are getting the profound benefits that omega-3s provide. So omega-3s, they are fatty acids that are a type of polyunsaturated fat, and they're essential. They're essential fatty acids. There are some fatty acids that are non-essential. There are some that are essential, and they are essential and they must be obtained from food. Our body cannot make omega-3 fats on its own. And so there's kind of like 3 different categories of benefits that I like to share with people. There's more than just 3, but I think these top 3 are the most critical for your both short-term and long-term health. The first one is cellular membrane health. Omega-3s are a component of the phospholipid bilayer that forms cell membranes. So your cells are, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm forming a little ball or circle with my hands. It has this outer layer, and a lot of that outer layer is composed of omega-3 fats. And if we don't have healthy omega-3 fats to help form that layer of our cellular membrane, then our cellular health is not going to be optimized. The second reason why omega-3 fats are so important is for heart health. Omega-3s have been shown and proven to help lower your blood pressure, to help reduce triglycerides, and potentially even improve your HDL cholesterol and lower the risk of irregular heartbeats. So not just cellular health, but heart health as well. And lastly, brain health. Omega-3s are needed to help build brain cells, and they're really important to make new brain neural connections. And so ensuring our cognitive ability keeps at a high level as we get older. So 3 of the top benefits of omega-3s, cell membrane health, heart health, and brain health. Now, it's really important to know that omega-3s have 3 different buckets. There are 3 different kinds of omega-3s that we get from different places and have different benefits. The first is ALA, the second is EPA, and the third is DHA. Pronouncing those are short for specific acids, but pronouncing them is can be a little bit tough, so I'm just going to keep it simple. ALA, EPA, and DHA. So ALA is the type of omega-3 that only comes from plants. EPA and DHA is a type of omega-3 that only comes from animal foods. And ALA is primarily provides us with anti-inflammatory benefits, which is great, but the bigger benefits that omega-3s provide come from EPA and DHA. Those basically do provide all of the other benefits of omega-3s. So those are the most important to ensure that you're getting in on a regular basis in your diet. And like I said before, ALA only comes from plants. And what essentially happens in our body is when we eat ALA, our body will convert some of that ALA into EPA and DHA, but the conversion process is very minimal. So for example, ALA to EPA, the conversion rate is only about 1 to 10%. For every 1 gram of ALA that you consume, only 1 to 10% of that gets converted into EPA. And then for ALA to DHA, the conversion rate is only 0.5 to 5%. So again, very minimal amounts of ALA will get converted into EPA and DHA, and those are the two that provide the main benefits that we want to extract from omega-3 foods. And so the specific foods, the top 5 foods that I want to share today that provide these omega-3s, essential fatty acids. Number 1 is mackerel. Now, I'm going to just completely confess to you guys, I have never had mackerel before. Unfortunately, I don't explore seafood as much as I should because I really need to. I believe in the benefits of it. It's just I don't love seafood as much as my when I'm recording this episode, my fiance, when the episode comes out, she's probably going to be my wife. Let's see it. When does this episode come out? We'll see what happens. You guys will know. Anyways, she loves seafood. I love some seafood. I'm just not as exploratory with it. Okay, let's get back to these foods, Nick. Mackerel. If you have 3.5 ounces of mackerel, that provides you with 4.5 grams of the combination of DHA plus EPA. And the daily recommendation for DHA plus EPA is 2 grams per day. And if you have just 3.5 ounces of mackerel, you get double the amount. And from what I know, obviously you want to ask your doctor these things beforehand, but from what I know, there's very little downsides of having like more than the recommended amount. The only potential downside is if you have too much fish that is high in mercury, but again, that might be pretty hard for a lot of us to actually achieve, if you will, or that would be a lot of fish to overconsume mercury and overconsuming the wrong kind of fish. But anyways, mackerel is the highest omega-3 contented food. Food number 2 is salmon. Luckily, I love salmon. And specifically, you want to get wild-caught salmon. Wild-caught salmon has a higher amount of the EPA and DHA, and that's one of the biggest reasons why we should eat salmon. Obviously, it has good proteins, and it has B vitamins, and it has vitamin D and those sorts of things, but I think primarily we should be eating salmon because of the omega-3 fats that it has in it. And so if we're eating farmed-raised salmon and it doesn't have as high of content of the EPA and DHA, then we're not getting the main benefit that we should be getting from salmon. So wild-caught salmon, if you have 3.5 ounces of it, it will provide you with 2.15 grams of DHA plus EPA. So if you can just have 3.5 ounces of salmon, you'll reach your daily recommended intake, if you will. Luckily, I love salmon, so that is something that I regularly eat and need to continue to consume regularly. The third food is sardines. Now, once again, I will confess that I have never had sardines before, but I will say that after doing genetic testing with Wild Health, they have recommended to me that sardines might be one of the top foods for me, and I just need to get over the intimidation of the look of sardines and just the idea of sardines. So I am recording this episode. If you want to hold me accountable, feel free to shoot me a DM and say like, hey, you said you were going to have sardines. I want to hold you accountable. Have some sardines because I really do want to do that. Anyways, let's get back to helping you guys. 3.5 ounces of sardines has 1.5 grams of DHA plus EPA. So those first 3 top foods are animal-based, fish-based, if you will, because of their high content of DHA and EPA. Now, I would say almost all fish sources of omega-3s are going to be more powerful than plant sources of omega-3s because of the DHA and the EPA content of them. But I'm only going to have 3 fish sources because you guys can go and explore how much is in other kinds of fish. The other 2 are going to be plant sources. So food number 4 is going to be chia seeds. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds has 2.6 grams of ALA in it. But again, remember that only about 1 to 10% of that gets converted to EPA and about 0.5 to 5% gets converted to DHA. But it's still, like I said, ALA still has a lot of the anti-inflammatory benefits. And so there's not like there's no benefits to it. So don't hear what I'm not saying. I am saying that those are still very beneficial. I love adding chia seeds to my yogurt. And the other thing that's great about chia seeds and why it's on this list is because it's very versatile. You can add chia seeds to a lot of different things, and it's high in fiber, which is another benefit. And then 5th and finally is walnuts. Just 1 ounce of walnuts has 2.5 grams of ALA. And for similar reasons like chia seeds, you can add walnuts to a lot of different things. You can add it to oatmeal, you can add it to yogurt, you can add it to salads, you can add it to all kinds of different things. So it is very versatile and to be able to add it into your diet in a lot of different ways. And most people like walnuts as well. Just a couple other real quick bonus foods, if you will, are flax seeds, which you want to make sure you eat ground flax seeds or flax meal to be able to extract the omega-3 property from it. And then edamame as well. 1 tablespoon of flax seeds has 1.8 grams of ALA. Half a cup of edamame has about 1.5 grams of ALA. And the last thing I'll mention today is that fish oil supplements can be a great way to ensure that you're getting enough DHA and EPA. Again, to be completely open and transparent with you, that is one of the supplements that I actually used to take. I really need to get back on it because I really do believe in the power of it. I've just kind of fallen off of it a little bit. And I do believe that the higher quality omega-3 supplements are the oils. Something like a cod liver oil that comes from a high quality source rather than maybe a pill. I'm sure a pill is fine as well, but I think in pill form, it is more difficult for your body to access the DHA and the EPA and really have all of the impact. I'm sure that there's still some great benefits to pills, to fish oil pills as well, but I do believe that the fish oils are going to be more impactful. You just want to make sure that they have the right content of DHA plus EPA, about 2 grams in whatever their serving size is, 1 tablespoon or whatnot. So that's all about omega-3s, you guys. Omega-3s, like I said, is one of those categories of foods that I think are super, super, super critical for all of us to be consuming for our cellular health, our heart health, and our brain health. If you need accountability to ensure that you're getting in enough omega-3s by the time this episode comes out, I'm not sure if it's going to be too late or not to join the next 10WT, but the next 10WT starts October 7th and runs through December 13th. The next one will start in 2025 in the middle of January, so stay tuned for that. So I hope today allows you to understand why omega-3s are important, provides you with the ability to go grocery shopping more effectively for some of these foods like mackerel, salmon, sardines. Come on, Nick, get sardines. Come on, Nick, get sardines. You got this, brother. Just try to hype myself up and therefore hopefully getting all the benefits from omega-3s as well. All right, you guys, I went off on some tangents today, but I hope it was insightful and helpful, and I hope today helps you get closer to the healthiest version of yourself and ultimately get you closer and closer to your best.